for your fun. Left your man no come for round.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimisha and I've got for you guys today a get ready with me as I take pictures for my birthday, which is February 2nd. So it's already passed and you don't have to wish me happy birthday in the comments, but you can if you want to. I'm going to start with my hair and I'm just parting it into 3 parts, 2 front sections and a back section. So I braid the sides down so it can lay flat under my wig, and then I just put the 2 braids into the back and put it in a ponytail. And yeah, so I know it's been a while since I have been on here and I'm sure that you guys miss me because I always miss you guys, okay? Anyways, I'm putting some gel on my hair right now and slicking it down so that it can just lay flat because I'm looking for a very flat base, and then I use the blow dryer to blow dry my hair to make it stay. As I was saying, I've been gone for a while, and this year I just feel like I love doing YouTube. It's just I've let editing deter me from it, but I'm not gonna let that happen anymore. I've got big plans for myself and I got big plans for you guys this year, and I cannot wait to show you. Once everything is dry, your hair should look something like this. Ta-da! So I'm gonna add the wig cap onto my head, and then I'm gonna use the same gel to gel down the front perimeter of my hair so that it can stay in place for this wig. And we're gonna do the ball scap method, or we will attempt to do the ball scap method. And of course, use a blow dryer to make sure that it sets in place. This is my first time attempting to do the bald scalp method, so it's not gonna be perfect. I am not a professional hairstylist or hairdresser. I just does my own thing, and half the time I just can't be bothered. So as long as it looks good and it works, that's it, that's all. No stress. It doesn't have to be perfect. Trust me, the perfectionist in me is crying, but it came out good in the end. So yeah, anyways, the last time you guys saw me, I was a baby. Like, now I'm a grown woman. I'm a whole 29 years old, almost 30, bitch. Okay, so I feel like I have a lot more to offer you guys right now. I have so many life experiences that I would just like to share with you guys, you know, some lessons that I've learned along the way, and I just cannot wait. After slicking everything down, blow drying it, I'm gonna put some foundation onto my wig cap just to make it look more like my scalp. You guys know how it goes. You've seen all the videos on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and just about everywhere. I'm not going to put this on my entire head, just the places that will be showing through from the wig once it's on. After that, I'm just going to cut off the extra pieces of the wig cap. In case some of you were wondering where I've been the last 3 or so years, I've actually, in one sentence, I've been healing, I've been growing, and just getting to know myself better. One thing I never actually talked about on this channel is relationships, and back in 2018-17, I got out of a really bad relationship and I was just in a not so great place at that time. So the last 4 years or so, I've been taking the time to heal myself and get back to the Kim that I used to be before that relationship. So now that I feel like I'm in a better space and I'm more myself and I have more to offer, I am back to these YouTube streets to give you guys what you want. And Snapchat, you guys gave me so much feedback. Like, everyone was encouraging me to go back, get back out there, do your thing, like even my husband. So I had to come on here and do what I needed to do. So here we are. Anyways, now that I've taken off the extra pieces of the lace, not the lace, the wig cap, I am now using the gel and sticking down the pieces that were not properly stuck. And here, guys, y'all will see I messed up on this hair so badly because I brought the lace a little too forward. So then with the wig, I had to, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it was my first time, like I said before, okay? Anyways, after you put the gel and it's dry, then I'm going back over those spots with my foundation to make sure that everything looks like scalp. So as I was saying, I feel like I'm in a better place in my life right now to be able to offer you guys some content on YouTube and be helpful, something outside of makeup, outside of fashion and beauty. I do like to share my experiences because I never want what I go through in life to be for nothing. I want to be able to share my experiences and help someone to not go through what I went through, and yeah. So this is definitely something I am looking forward to sharing with you guys. I want to switch it up. I want to be able to offer a more wide variety of videos. In the past, I have done mostly beauty videos and outfit videos, but this time I would really like to offer much more. I'd also like to maybe once in a while do a little podcast and have people on my channel discussing different topics. You know, I just feel like I have some value to offer you guys, so this is just what I want to do. Right now, I am placing the wig onto my head just so I can know where exactly to apply the glue. So I put it on and just pull it back a little bit just so I can see where it's going to lay. But here, I did not realize that the sides were not as forward as they needed to be, so it wasn't properly calculated, and this is where I messed up, but I managed to finesse it, as you guys will see. The glue that I'm using is the Ebin New York Wonder Lace Bond Adhesive in Original, and it's Extra Mega Hold Original. After applying the glue around the perimeter of my hair, I then used the back of my comb, or the tail of my comb, to spread it out and let it dry for a bit. As I mentioned before, guys, I am not a professional hairstylist, so please don't come for me if I am not doing this correctly. It works for me. I'm just showing you guys how I do it and how it works for me. This is not the best way to do it. It's not the only way to do it. If you have a way that you do it and it works for you, that's amazing. Please feel free to share some tips in the comments. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys a bit more, and also to introduce myself a bit more to those of you who do not know me. So this channel is definitely going to be something very personal for me. I am cutting the lace just to be able to get the parts separate. So I'm trying to cut it into 3, but I really was afraid to cut the actual hair, so I just cut it a little bit. This is just to make application a little bit easier for me. And I'm applying right now the second layer of glue. I am using the blow dryer just to speed up the drying process of the glue. Once I saw that the glue was a little bit tacky and sticky, I just went ahead to pull the lace wig onto where I applied that glue, and just to adjust it as well as possible. And then I used my comb to sort of press the lace into the glue and also pull the hair back so that it can give more of a natural effect when it's completed. I know I'm not the only person that feels the energy that 2022 came in with. This woman came in and she's like, okay, this gonna be your year. If you have been doing the work, you've been doing your manifestation, I promise you this year I'm coming through for you. I know I'm not the only person that's felt that. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just something different. It's given success, you know, that's what it's given. And because I love myself so much, I want to go out there and give myself what I deserve. So now I'm using the Ebin New York Wonder Lace Bond Adhesive Spray Extreme Firm Hold Active. That's a lot. Anyways, that's what I'm using to spray kind of for that, what's it called? That melt? Yeah. So I'm spraying that there just to also give it an extra hold, you know, and get the hairs in place like how I want them to be or whatever. And I'm using the tail of the comb to press that down, press the lace down. And you guys see right here where the blow dryer is blowing. I got a little too much of the lace stuck to my skin. So it was supposed to just stop where the hair is, but I accidentally brought it way too far. And I thought it was something I could fix with some alcohol just to like loosen up the glue, but it didn't really work out that way. But you guys will see how it goes in the end. And this wig got some kind of weird widow's peak situation going on here. Like, I don't know what the hell is up with that. I was trying to cover up the extra pieces of my hair underneath that came forward because I feel like the hairline started a little bit too far back for me. Once I've done all that, I'm just going to apply my headband, and this one I got from Top Tier Installs. She did my hair once and it was bomb. If you're in the Montreal area, you should check her out. So I put that on just to help melt the wig lace into my scalp, and yeah, it's giving. I'm feeling myself at this point, you know, saying like listen to music. But now we're about to get into the fun part, which is the makeup. I wanted to take off the lace because it was covering my face and I couldn't really do my makeup, so I took it off. And as you see, I have some extra lace there in the widow's peak area because these people did not give me enough hair on this wig. But it's okay. I'm putting some foundation, some darker foundation over the lace that's left over so that it can blend into my skin. Because if you put lighter, what I've noticed is that when you put the foundation over the glue, it lightens the foundation. So it's better to use a darker foundation over it so it'll then match. And look, baby, you can't tell me nothing. I know it's not perfect, but baby, once my makeup is done, it's finna be. She's coming together very nicely if I do so myself, and I do. Okay, so I use the same foundation to go down the line to highlight that, and I'm starting off with some Mario Badescu and some all-nighter setting spray just as a base for my skin. The Mario Badescu is just to moisturize my skin, give my skin a little extra movement, and the all-nighter is for oil control. And I'm using my primer, which is the Milk Hydro something primer. It's the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. And I'm applying this to mainly the center of my face and just the places that get super oily, and blending that into my skin properly. And I also went over my brows with it because I want my brow pencil to also last. And this white thing I'm putting on my face is Milk of Magnesia, and I put it around the areas where I will have to put my mask. So my nose, my mouth, and just up my cheekbone. Those are only places I put that because I want that extra protection. Because when you put that Milk of Magnesia, honey, that makeup ain't going nowhere. So that's why I did that. And then I'm applying my foundation, which is the Huda Beauty Full Filter Luminous Matte Foundation in Brown Sugar and Peanut Butter Cup. As I blend this foundation into my skin, I'm going to give you guys a few details for the hair. And the hair I got off AliExpress, and the vendor's name is Rosa Beauty. It is a straight hair wig. Ginger orange is the color, and it says HD lace, but we know this ain't HD lace. Honestly, I can't say anything bad about the hair. It's really good. It's really soft. Even after what I put it through for the couple days that I had it on, it still remains soft. And once I clean it up and reapply it, I'll let you guys know how I like it. But so far I love it. It does not shed a lot at all. Clearly I'm out here getting in the mood. I'm in the vibe. Anyways, the only thing about the hair that I will say though is that it doesn't really retain a curl for too long, which kind of seems a little contradictory. You guys will see in my future videos that it stayed. I don't know what it is I did, but this day I put so much hairspray to make it stay, and it did not stay. Anyways, moving on to the makeup. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Caramel and Walnut. So I'm using Walnut as a darker shade, and then over that I go over with Caramel, which is a smaller applicator that you see. I was vibing for this photo shoot. I've been looking forward to this photo shoot for at least a month. I had been preparing, and I looked forward to that day so much, and the pictures came out so bomb. So back to the makeup, I'm just applying the concealer in the places that you generally highlight. So under the eyes, forehead, nose, chin, and above the lip. Nothing has changed. Highlight for me is the same. It works for me, so I stick to it. Unless you guys have some tips, y'all can leave it down in the comments. I would really appreciate that. I'm always open to trying new techniques because I still have not found any specific technique that absolutely works for me every time. So I alternate between techniques depending on what I'm looking for. And I'm just blending that out as per usual. And yeah, I just want to say that there is no right or wrong way to do your makeup. You know, I mean, yes, you can look a mess if you don't do it correctly. Like, there's a general guideline of how your makeup should be, but the way to get to that should be your own. So you can do what I do, which is try different techniques and figure out which one works best for you. You don't have to commit to any particular technique as long as you get the look that you're going for. That is number one. For this, I was going for a super highlighted under eye, so that's why I put a lot of concealer. You guys don't need to put this much concealer. You don't need to put this much makeup. You could do a lot with minimal. This is just my preference, and if you like the way that my makeup looks and you want to know how to do it, this is how I do it. But this is not the end-all be-all of makeup. Makeup is personal in my opinion, and however it is you like your makeup should be how you do your makeup. I'm applying contour, and the contour that I'm using today is the Black Opal True Color in the shade Hazelnut. And I'm applying that to the places that I contour, so the forehead, the nose, sides, and the cheekbones. Please remember, when you are blending, to tap, do not rub. Tapping is your best friend. When you rub, you move the product around. When you tap, you press it in place and blend. For a better blend, I would suggest going between the concealer and the contour, not the concealer, highlight and the contour, and blend back and forth with the brush, different brushes, so you can have more of a seamless look. I know the number one thing that most people who know me, your question is really, how did I end up losing all this weight? And I promise you guys, I have a specific one video dedicated to all the details as to how I got to where I am right now on my fitness journey. So stay tuned for that. We almost there. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend out the second layer, because your girl needed a little extra something under them eyes. But it wasn't just under your eyes. I actually applied a second layer of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Caramel on all highlighted areas, because I wanted a little extra. I felt like what was there before just kind of blended with my foundation, and I want my highlight to really stand out for these pictures. So I'm just gonna blend out my contour on my cheekbones, and I'm just tapping for dear life, honey. Look at that cheek bounce. Felt good. So you do as much blending as you need to so that everything is seamless. And for my nose contour, I would usually get a smaller brush, but I was lazy, honey, and I had places to go. I was running late, so I just took that same brush and blended it out, and it worked just fine. So now I'm defining my chin, making it a little bit more chiseled, because your girl wants to look like $1,000,000 in these pictures, which I did. I really think that I put this much foundation or product period on my face just because I do so much blending. Like, I get in my head, like I tell you guys, blending is your friend. I do not play. Like, the way how I blend, I can spend so much time blending. So this is why I put so much foundation or so much product on my face, because after you blend so much, you just blend away everything. Anyways, at this point I am using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter setting spray, or setting powder, sorry, in the shade Honey, just to set under there. And now I'm going in right here with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. The reason that I'm using both is that I don't like how the Fenty Beauty, when you set with it, I don't like the way it makes my makeup look under my eye. So with the Fenty Beauty, I've learned that you don't set, you just press it in. You put a little bit and you press it in and you go your way. And if I want extra highlight, I'll just go over with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and bake with that, and I'll be perfectly fine. Why it look like I just ate this thing off my lip? Anyways, guys, I'm putting the Laura Mercier powder over all the other areas that I highlighted, including under my contour, so down my cheekbones right here. I did not highlight there, but I do like to set or bake under there for more definition. And now I will set my contour, and I'm using the Morphe contour palette. And that one is in the shade Deep, I believe. It was a little bit too dark, but I was in a rush. I was not paying attention. But I still managed to make it work. So depending on your complexion or your tone, you would have to either choose the medium or the red or the deep. So for me, it's most likely medium. But I don't really like the shades of the contours in the medium. So I usually alternate between the three, to be quite honest, until I find whatever it is I'm looking for. If you do end up using something that is too dark, well, I wouldn't suggest you use something that's too dark, but if you have something that is a little bit darker, I would suggest you do it layer by layer with the lightest hand possible. It is still possible to do it if it's too dark for your complexion, but there's a way to do it so it don't look like your face is dirty, or like you have, I don't know, you have a scar, like you have a black eye that you're trying to cover or whatever. So there's a way to do it. Anyways, I'm moving on to my eyes, and I'm using the same concealer in the shade Caramel that I used earlier just as my base, because it's better this way for me personally. And yeah, I'm gonna do my eyes, and I'm going to just let you guys watch. Okay, I lied. I gotta come in and let you guys know what I'm doing because I know I look a little crazy right now. I am doing my nose contour, and I love to start my nose contour from up there in the bridge of my nose, connecting it to my eyebrows, because bitch, this is one of the places that I struggle. Okay, when I tell you guys that there are things in makeup that I am not a master at, nose contour is one of them. Contour period, honestly, is one of the things that I struggle with. Eyebrows is one of the things I struggle with. Under eye is one of the things I struggle with. I probably struggle with everything. Y'all see it and think that it's just effortless, but you do not know the amount of anxiety that goes on every time I have to do someone's face, because I'm just like, I hope I do this right. You guys see how everything is coming together? It's all from blending, my friend. Anyway, shorty looks pissed. I don't know who pissed her off, but she looks mad. Look at her face. Look at her face. I don't know what was going on with me that day, guys, but here someone pissed me off. As you can see on my face, I was not in a good mood, and sadly it was in like the best parts of the video and I couldn't cut it out. Anyways, I am defining my nose because I want my nose to look chiseled in these pictures, so I'm just putting some Laura Mercier translucent powder to the sides of the nose to kind of create more of definition. And then I'm going to go in with the same contour color into my crease. So I'm blending that straight from my nose because it's the same nose contour color. It's from the Morphe contour palette, and I believe the one that I was using was just called bronzer. I don't know which one exactly it is. And then I use the Juvia's Place Saharian blush palette and use the orange blush from there, and just blend out the top parts so that it can be more seamless blended. Give it more of a smoky look, to be honest. I feel like when I add orange to any look, like it just gives it more of a smoky blended effect, and I really like that. For this look, I know I wanted something neutral, so that's why I stuck with brown, because I was doing orange, which is a lot of color, and I was also doing a brown outfit. So here I am cutting my crease using the concealer, and sis is still cussing. Sis is still out here cussing. Anyways, I'm using the concealer to cut my crease, and I am blending out the concealer so that I can then apply my eyeshadow. Something I'd like to do on this channel is something called a strawberry letter. So it's basically like where people write you in and tell you the situation, ask you for advice. I love to do stuff like that. I love giving advice. And when I say advice, I mean relationship advice. I think I give pretty good advice. I don't think nobody takes my advice, but I try to take it every so often. So now I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder just to set the concealer that was here. It's not an actual eyeshadow. I don't think I did put any eyeshadow. I just used that just to set it. And then I went over with the glitter liner. I can be such a brat when I don't get my way. Like, I am literally so upset by whatever it was that was bugging me that I cussed for like 20 minutes. All just because I did not get what I wanted. And if you guys knew what I wanted, y'all would laugh at me, so I'm not even gonna tell y'all. And now we're moving on to another thing that I struggle with, guys. I struggle with eyeliner because you know it just takes one wrong move to mess up your eyeliner. And then I put some mascara on my lashes to get the product is on there and make it black so I can blend it seamlessly with my eyeshadow, because blending is all we do around here, honey. And then I'm putting the same eyeshadow, the first one that I used in my crease. I am using that on my lower lash line. I lost a couple bit of footage, and that's just me putting on my lashes and mascara on my bottom lashes. So you guys are going to just skip on to the finished look, and we're going to put the lipstick on together, but my camera died and I couldn't continue. But this is what the final look came out to. I just did my eyebrows and I filled them in and just concealed the top and bottom a little bit. And now I'm just applying a lip gloss, and this lip gloss is actually from my line, and this one is in the shade Iris, and the second one is called Milk. In the end, I did change my lip gloss because I did have a brown combo that I wanted to do, but this was just to close off the video because I was already running late and I just wanted to be finished so that I can get out because my ride was already there. If you made it this far, guys, this is the end of the video. I'm going to show you guys everything right now. And I just want to say thank you so much for sticking through this long 25-minute long video. And if you guys loved it, enjoyed it, and want to see more, give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we know you like to hear it and I love having you. See you guys next time.